Hey guys, so I found a place with good light, the upstairs bathroom, and I have my diorama up here because I moved some of the stuff during the flood or after the flood way back February 2 years ago, and so it's been up here ever since. And as I'm getting ready to move it back down into the diorama room in the basement, I thought, let's do a deep dive into it because this is my favorite diorama. And although I've done a video on it before, I thought I'd give you a little character background and explain why I'm interested in this character and why I really enjoyed making this diorama. So the character is Jason Bard, and this is from Who's Who. And Jason Bard is an ex-Vietnam vet who got wounded, hurt his knee, so that's why he has a cane. He was a recruiter for the Marines for a while after being honorably discharged for his disability. Then he studied criminology, and his first appearance was actually in Detective Comics October '69, number 392, when Detective had a Batman story and a Batgirl story. And it was actually in the Batgirl story that he's introduced. It's called A Clue, ... 7 foot tall. It's a two-part story, so it ends unfinished in this issue. And here is Jason in his first image. And Barbara Gordon is there, and she thinks she's a librarian at the time. She thinks he's just kind of a curiosity, looky-loo guy. And of course, he comes to the library later, and there's an interplay, and eventually he tells her about his story and so on. So it's an interesting introduction. And so I like these lesser known characters, and so later he was in other issues, and finally they called his separate stories the Master Crime File of Jason Bard. So I made up a little file here. So we open it up. And what do we find? We find all the comic book appearances, and so there you have the initial one, and then the follow-up, and then he occurs in consecutive detective comics, and later I guess there's an analogy or an anthology. I'm still very tired. I need this vacation so bad. Anyway, then he's in Batman starting in '73, and then moving on, Batman Family, Brave and the Bold, Batman the Outsiders, Firebrand, and then his return is in Birds of Prey, half a dozen, 8 issues. He's got a couple in Robin in 2000, and then finally 2001, Winter, Batman Chronicles. So I don't think he's been introduced recently or reintroduced. So see his cane. I'm using the cane to prop it up so the angle of the light is better. I got all these lights up here, and because the detail is what this is all about. So the idea was I saw this box, and it's actually a Crisco box, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. I can use that, and so I made the door with the name. Of course, it's backwards because it's, you know, the outside door. And the idea is it's in an inner city Gotham high rise. It's a very old building. You can see the architecture and everything is very old. So it's like this has been a an office, and now he's moved in, and he likes old stuff. He's got this old radio and this old lamp, and more of a modern clock there, and the desk is old, and old trunk there, old chair. He's got his girl. He was the boyfriend of Barbara Gordon for a while, and she ran for office, Congress. Here's a Gotham map with a push pin. There's a calendar, a chalkboard. Over here, some file cabinets I made, and books, and old style VHS camcorder. One of the things I like is I did the common ventilation. So you have the ventilation on either side with the chain so you can close it off. And you see this in the detective noir type of shows. And over here you got his certificates, his graduation from various things. And then it's kind of fun. This is kind of a hall of fame of TV detectives. Honey West, Rockford, Mannix, a whole bunch. Tom Selleck is Magnum. Some more down here. And of course they're all signed to him, like he knows all these guys. Here's his license. Custom books. This is the heater here. And so I got a leather thing for the chair pad. And garbage can. So if you look, I had different versions. If you go to my DeviantArt page, Jason Bard PI office, I believe you'll find it. So this is how it looked with all the desk stuff, and I was always changing around. Cat woman's whip is up there, and you notice in this one there are changes. First of all, the action figure, the custom action figure, was just a head swap. Different head on this one. I'll show you those in a minute. But I made like 50 some changes between this one and this one. And if you want to go on my DeviantArt page, you can kind of play that game. So anyway, so here's the props. Most of them, some of them are being used in other dioramas. I've got a different chair than those pictures. That chair there, by the way, had a secret compartment in the bottom that you could store files. That was pretty cool. So here's the custom figure, which is, I believe, a Constantine figure. I'm not sure. And the head, I'm not sure. Now I know that the head swap was the Aquaman head, which I've used for a lot of. I used him for Nemesis too. So you could have a crossover. You could bring Constantine in. The question, would he be a good character? And I'm thinking this is Unmasked Dr. Fate, but I might be wrong. I'm not sure who this guy is, but you could probably customize him too. I like the trench coat look, even though if you look at his mod, you know, 69 into the 70s thing, he's got the, it almost looks like Hugh Hefner type of thing with the pipe, and he's got a sweater vest, basically. He's got a pullover sweater, but he wears a tie, and he's got this jacket, and his cane. So, but I think this second head is more in keeping with his kind of handsome, roguish style. But he was mod, which is short for modern. Of course, I was 14 in '69, so I knew all about Twiggy and the mod movement from the British Isles coming over. A lot of the girls in school are wearing the mini skirts and everything. Anyway, so a couple of custom things I made. This is some kind of lever, plastic lever. I thought it looked like an old intercom. I made this out of plastic. It's a desk lamp. This is cool. The like his journal. It's real leather. And various crime scene photographs. There's the Easter egg. Who's that? Simon Templar, the saint. Always got to give some Catwoman shout outs. Here's Adam Hughes' rendition. And over here on the wall is a real early modeling magazine with Julie Newmar. Another Easter egg. Another Catwoman. The rest of the calendar. Gotham Post. I thought I might sometime take this original newspaper and put it somewhere in the diorama, since that was the initial case. Bunch of stack of Gotham magazines, some more cameras, cool holster and gun, and this is half of the picture of a bunch of it's a collage of DC detectives, and you notice this guy's got the similar type of holster with the gun. Anyway, so here, so this would have gone on like a piece of glass over the desk, and you have all the files and everything. I wanted to make his desk look kind of messy because, yeah, here's the cane I made for him. Custom cane. It's a fold-up Gotham map. This had a flower in it in the original picture. If you see there on the desk, there's the flower. I can't hold this steady enough because I'm leaning over the sink, but maybe I can do it with this one here. See the flower and the square thing. So anyway, yeah. So that is your deep dive into Jason Bard. And now a little criticism. First of all, the paint didn't stay too well on this one. Almost looks like water damage, ironically, because this wasn't a flood, although I rescued it. Also, you know, we got a kind of a mixed chronology here. You got some old stuff, and yet the desk chair is fairly new. Obviously the phone. I do have an old style phone. I'd like to get one from, like, looks like from the 40s. This is, of course, just one of your first mobile phones, so that doesn't quite fit. I could make the desk lamp look more old school by making it narrower and wider and metal. Yeah, there's quite a bit of improvements. So the color of this desk chair is not so great. The handles on the file cabinets are not great. So yeah, it's a dream catcher on the wall, because it's kind of the hippie era, you know, 69, 70s, into the hippie era, basically. So, yeah. Anyway, someone gave him a bottle of whatever this is. Clothes, some wine, some French wine. So that is a deep dive into Jason Bard. I like the character because he's obscure. He's got interesting backstory. He had a relationship with Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, and he appears once in a while in other comics. Of course, I'm a big Batman fan, so any even of the minor characters I'm interested in. So there you go. What's cool about this too, roll it forward here, too much of a disaster. That's a translucent film-like thing that I printed on, and so if you put a guy in the background, you can actually see him. I had Gordon standing out, and one final thing I'll show you, I'm going to do this without too much of a disaster, is so I finished the door on the outside too. So you got Jason Bard, private investigator. It's like the old school, like New York type of office. Now normally, if you remember, on TV shows and movies, they would have the secretary's office and then a secondary office. So I've even thought of that. It would be cool to make an addition, make a secretary's office with another entry door, but these doors are so hard to make as far as I'm concerned, at least for my skill level, that yeah, I was not highly motivated to do that. But who knows? Someday I might. So, comments are welcome. And if you like the video, let me know. Oh, I made custom pencils too. Here's one of them. I have quite a few of those. It's an earring thing. That looks like some kind of like hole punch or stamp or whatever. Yeah. He has his wristwatch. This is it's a little rubber thing for the pencils and the envelope openers. So anyway, this has gone on long enough. So comments are welcome. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe. I'm trying to hit 535, which would be the number of my previous YouTube channel, the one that got lost in time. So I'm out.